and welcome to episode 10 of the JK Cast with Justin and Keely. How are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty well. How are you doing?
You don't sound too good.
Why do you say that? That's kind of rude.
Well, I'm just saying, this is all audio, and you sound like you're having trouble breathing.
Just a little bit.
Why is that?
I probably didn't take my asthma meds this morning.
Why would
Because I
you?
woke up late.
Oh.
Yeah,
When
and I
did you wake
forgot.
up? Because I woke you up at 8:15.
You did. I also woke up like at 7:20. And then I also woke up at like 8:53. So, yeah. That was my morning.
It's disappointing.
Why is that disappointing?
You just need to wake up. Get up.
I know. To be fair, I was up very late last night.
True.
Yeah. Because I left my sister's house at like midnight. And it's an hour drive, so.
Yeah.
And I had to get some food because I hadn't eaten all day, so. It was very late night last night.
Yeah, you called me on your way home and you asked me if I wanted some food and I said no. And you were thinking about Taco Bell. But it seems like you got Whataburger instead.
Oh, how'd you know I got Whataburger?
I was just throwing something away today and it was just in the
Yeah.
trash.
Well, I was thinking about it and I was like, what would I get at Taco Bell? And I kind of really wanted the breakfast tacos from Buc-ee's. But it was super cold last night because the cold front finally came in.
Yeah.
Like an hour before I was leaving KJ's house. And so it was just so freaking cold. I didn't want to get out of my car in the Buc-ee's parking lot because it's a walk, you know?
Yeah. You hate the cold.
I hate the cold.
When it gets cold, you shut down.
I'm like, I will stay inside.
Because I remember there's a time when we were sharing a car at some point, and you had to work at like 4:30 in the morning, and I would drive you, and you would not get out of the car. I was like, you have to go into work.
Cold.
We're 15 feet from the door.
I would take, when it's really cold, I take a blanket with me in the car to be warm. And on those mornings, I would take the blanket inside with me. And the worst part about Texas is as soon as the sun comes up, it's really not that cold.
Yeah, we always have, most of the time it's like cold in the morning.
Yeah.
And then like 70 degrees in the afternoon. So
right.
if you dress for the cold, by the time it's afternoon.
Blankets.
Yeah, by the time it's afternoon, you're sweating.
Yeah, so blankets is my strategy. I highly recommend it. But anyways, so I really wanted Buc-ee's breakfast tacos because I drove by 2 Buc-ee's on the way home.
Oh, okay.
The one didn't want in McKinney. And so I was like,
Melissa.
Whatever. That area. You interrupted me now. I don't remember what I was saying. Okay, so I really wanted those Buc-ee's breakfast tacos because they're so good. And I don't really like Taco Bell's breakfast tacos. So I was
Do they sell those in the morning? Like late at night?
Yeah.
Oh, they do?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
So I went to Whataburger because they have those like taquito things.
You got taquitos?
Well, they're not actually taquitos. They're breakfast tacos, but they call them taquitos.
Well, they're like rolls.
Yeah, sure. They're taco-sized rolls.
Yeah, they're closer to a burrito.
Okay.
They're like a skinny burrito, a.k.a. taquito.
Okay, well, anyway, so I got one of those, and I got a honey butter chicken biscuit, which I love.
Ooh.
I love those. So, and I ate them both in the car before I came inside, like in the garage.
You just had your car running in the garage?
No, I didn't have the car running. I had the car turned off. I had a blanket.
Okay.
It's all good. Yeah, I was just like, it's so late. Like, I'm not going to get a plate out and shit and set up a TV table or whatever. So I just ate it in the car.
Okay. Did I ever show you the picture that I took at the grocery store the other day?
No.
Because you were talking about the honey butter chicken biscuits.
Oh, are they selling the honey butter sauce?
No, because they sell like Whataburger at H-E-B, which we don't have in Dallas.
Right.
They sell like the ketchup, and I think they sell the honey.
I know.
But the store next to us that we go to.
They have Chick-fil-A sauce.
Yeah, they started selling 16-ounce bottles of Polynesian and Chick-fil-A sauce.
Well, they should sell the Zesty Buffalo because I don't use those.
I don't think that's
or the
gonna
honey
happen.
roasted barbecue.
Definitely not going to happen.
I would buy it.
No, those were just like
Or
on a
their
random
mayo.
end cap. Their mayo? I think their mayo is just Hellman's.
You said for so long that you thought they have their own mayo. Do you not think that anymore?
Maybe. Well, they
said
did,
it was different.
They did change their mayo recipe like 2 years ago. You remember when they took out the high fructose corn syrup?
I do remember, but I think it was more like 4 years ago.
4 years ago? Okay,
Yeah,
well, whatever.
2017.
No, I cannot believe 2017 would be 4 years ago. don't say things like that.
It was in like January of 2017.
Oh my God.
It's 4 years ago.
It's terrible.
I know that because I worked there at that time.
But you don't know if they have their own mayonnaise or not?
They don't tell you, Justin. It comes in Chick-fil-A packets. How would I know what kind?
I don't know.
If it was Hellman's or not.
I don't know.
Okay. Well, anyways, I know it so specifically because I was working there when we got the new shipments and everything, and they announced that they were getting rid of the old mayo, and I came home and let Justin know, and he was very upset.
Yeah, I mean,
he made me like get a bunch of the old mayo.
Yeah, it does not keep.
No, it did not. It was really gross.
Yeah, bad idea. I'm also doing well. Thank you for asking.
Mm-hmm.
You never do.
I asked immediately after I said I was doing fine.
Yeah, but you lied. So
I said, "How are you?" And then you said, "You sound bad."
Yeah, because you lied to me.
So I did ask you.
You lied to me, and you lied to everybody listening.
I'm doing fine.
But this is episode 10. That's what I want to talk about. We're never going to be on single digits again.
How sad.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. Cool. 10 weeks straight of uploading a podcast, and you're like, whatever.
How sad we're not going to be on single digits anymore. It's the worst.
Wow.
We could just call this episode 9.5.
Episode 9.5?
Or 9.1 to give you more time.
Just always do like 0.01, 0.02, and then just keep going and never hit 10.
Exactly. Gotta stay in the ones place.
No?
We're
just gonna keep going. We got to 10. We'll never be in single digits again.
Okay. Wow. What a monument for our channel.
Accomplishment. Yeah.
We also hit a very special landmark.
Oh yeah.
This week.
Yesterday.
Yeah.
Oh, yesterday recording this. So Monday. I
thought it was today.
Was it today? Oh, it was today. So Tuesday the 9th. It was today.
Yeah. We hit 100 channel videos.
Yeah, 100 videos on our channel.
Mm-hmm.
We surpassed my old channel. All I ever got up to was 99.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why'd you stop?
It just happened to be 99.
What a cliffhanger.
Yeah, and then I just had to quit. I had other obligations. It just happened to be 99. It wasn't like I was like afraid of hitting 100 or something. It's like when in kindergarten, when my teacher thought I was an idiot because like we had to do the test where like she would call you over and like, all right, count to 100.
Yeah.
And I got all the way up to 99, and I was like, I don't understand what's after 99 because I understood you go 1 all the way up to 9, and then you add a place.
Mm-hmm.
You go 1 0 1 1, and then you keep going up until you get to the 9. And
but how do you know what 10 was?
Because I got 10 fingers. I counted to 10 all the time.
20?
Well, I just knew that you added. You went up 1 once you got to 9
say,
in the ones place. You went up 1 in the tens place.
Did you say 2T or did you say 20? How did you know that it was called 20 if you couldn't figure out that it was called 100 later? I feel like they taught it all to you at the same time.
I didn't. What? I didn't have a problem understanding what it was called. I understood 100. I understood what 100 looked like and what it was, but I just got to 99, and I was like,
and you didn't know it came after.
Yeah, I didn't know. I didn't know what to do after it got to 99.
Well, then how did you know that 20 came after 19?
What?
How do you know that 20?
Because I had counted to 20 before.
You'd never counted to 100 before the test? It was your first time?
Yeah.
You didn't prepare?
I didn't know. No, it was kindergarten.
Wow, that's really embarrassing for you.
It's not. You're making it seem like it's like crazy. It's like, did you cut? What did you say?
Tootie.
Tootie? No.
Because you made it seem like you didn't know what came after 99 because you were just following a pattern with all the other numbers.
Exactly.
But
I wasn't following a pattern with the words.
Okay, fine. Then I really just don't understand.
The thing of the story is that I was just a child.
It's really embarrassing for you.
It's not.
I remember in kindergarten when I had to count to 100 as well. I was in Miss McDonald's class, and
I don't know who that is.
She's my kindergarten teacher.
Her
name is Miss McDonald.
Any relation?
I believe so. It was her father's farm. Yes.
I wasn't talking about the farm. I was talking about the restaurant chain. I don't think the farm actually existed.
Well, it's like the nursery rhyme is like more of something to do with kids. So that's what
McDonald's has Happy Meals.
Old McDonald.
You know what? That's embarrassing for you.
No, it's not. But yeah, I counted to 100 flawlessly, and I definitely did a practice run before I had to stand up in front of the class.
Oh, I didn't stand up in front of the class.
Okay.
I would have pissed my pants if I had to stand up in front of the class.
And didn't make it to 100.
No, she called me over to the bench during recess.
That's so sad.
Yeah.
She didn't think you could handle the class, huh?
No one stood up in front of the class and counted to 100.
Wow, that's really embarrassing for your school.
No, really. We were the cooler school.
Okay, well, anyways, at our school, we stood in front of people, and I knew what 100 was and where it went, so I was all good.
Okay, yeah.
Also, okay, one more question. One more question.
It's going to be so stupid. I know it.
Okay. So did you know you were counting to 100, like she said? Like that's how she started the conversation? Like,
yeah, she didn't just call me over and like start counting. Like what a weird, like what's the end goal here? Okay, when do I stop?
So you know you're counting to 100.
Uh-huh. What?
Don't you think that would be the last number?
How do I know it's the last number?
So you thought maybe there was another like group of 10 in between?
No, I didn't know. That's what I've said. I didn't know what to do.
So what did you do after 99?
I got to 99 and I was like,
and she was like, sweetie, it's 100. I asked you to count to 100.
No, she didn't talk down to me.
She should.
No, she was a teacher. And she was like, it's 100. I was like, oh, can I go back to recess?
And she'd let you? She'd make you do it again?
I was in kindergarten.
Wow. This is a horrible teacher.
Wow. Wow.
This is really funny. Why did you even start this story?
Why did I start this story?
Yeah.
Because we were talking, we talked about me having 99 videos and how I couldn't get to 100. So I was just saying, like, when I was a child.
Right. So it's always been a problem for you.
No, it hasn't. It was.
We really overcame something.
Oh, week. Yes. Okay. It was a problem that one time, and it wasn't even that big of a deal. Oh, my God.
So when did you learn to read?
Kindergarten. Oh, wow. We had reading tests in kindergarten.
It's embarrassing.
Why is it embarrassing?
You only learned to read in kindergarten?
So that's the first. I mean, I don't know. That's the first time someone was like, "Do you know how to read?" And I was like, "Yeah," and I could read.
Okay, so you already knew how to read.
Maybe, I don't know. It's hard to think that far back.
Okay,
but that was the first time someone was like, "We're gonna see if you can read," and then I read, and they're like, "Okay, you can read."
Thank goodness.
No one was checking up on me before that because I don't think anybody thought it was a problem. No one was talking about like, "Can you count to 100?" No, they did it when I was in kindergarten.
Oh wow, that's wild.
I always hated doing those reading tests in school.
Yeah, you had to like read like a passage and they ask you like some vague question.
And they'd be like, "Oh, you're reading on a 12th grade level when you're in like 3rd grade." And I'm like,
you're like, what 12th grader can?
Yeah, then I'm like,
how is this a baseline?
These 12th graders are idiots. I'm like, yeah. They read like this? I was like, they're about to go to college and they read like this?
They're learning about these farm animals problems. Yeah. Like, what's going on?
You remember doing like tax tests?
Yeah.
All those stupid things. I remember this one passage. I think about it all the time. because when I was a kid, I used to watch a lot of like Survivor Man, Bear Grylls, Wild, whatever, where they dump you out in the middle of nowhere, and like he's like, I'm gonna teach you how to survive, teach you how to build a fire using these whatever. Okay. But it was like this story about like this group of kids, and they get stranded in like Grand Canyon-ish area.
Yeah,
it's hot, whatever. They need fire because it gets cold at night and whatever. But I just remember he took a soda can, like the bottom of a soda can, how it's like concave, and he polished it with some chocolate that he had. Like it like melted, and he used like a cloth, like a shirt, to like polish it, so it was like nice and shiny. And then he used that to like focus light and start a fire.
Yeah.
And I just.
So you have to have a chocolate in a soda can in that situation in the middle of nowhere and stranded.
Yeah.
Okay. Continue.
Well, I just always think of that when, it just comes up like my youngin' days in school.
Wait, was that The Passage or was that the show you were watching?
No, that was The Passage from the tax test.
That they made a fire using a...
It was just like a narrative of like a group of kids that got stranded on like a field trip out in the middle of nowhere. And he was like, we need fire. And that was like the little part that he figured out that, I have chocolate, candy bar, I can make a fire. And I just always think of that part.
Why would a child know that?
That's what you're getting out of this?
That a kid would know you can polish a soda can using chocolate?
It was like 12 or 13. Like I'm sure he was in Boy Scouts or something. I don't remember the rest.
Okay, my bad.
But like you're like so caught up on that.
Also, how does he have chocolate in a soda can and he's stranded?
What? Chocolate.
You're like out in like the Grand Canyon, like you take soda and chocolate out hiking. I don't know.
I think he had the chocolate bar because he's a child, and then he found a soda can.
You said he was a teenager. So.
I said like 12 or 13.
Okay.
It's still a kid to me.
Okay, well, I said
I'm
kid.
in my mid-20s.
I said kid, and then you corrected me.
Because you made it sound like he was an idiot, like he couldn't count to 100 or something. But I just always think of that like I don't remember.
Such a weird passage. I don't remember that one.
I just remember because like I remember reading. I'm like, whoa! I was like, I could do that. I could be like.
Oh God.
What?
I'm sure you could, honey.
No, it's just like
you should try it. I'll make a video.
Just when I was a kid, I was always like afraid of like being caught in a situation where I would die.
Right.
Yeah. So
let's explore that.
Let's not. But I would be like, oh, like like the trick, like when you like your car goes into the water, like it's like stay calm to like open the door when like the pressure is equalized.
Yeah.
Or like you can take the headrest off and use the metal part to break the window. Mm-hmm. I'm always like, I gotta bookmark that in my brain because I was like, if I'm in a dangerous situation, I am not dying. And that's just like it filled up like half my brain when I was a kid.
Okay, well that's great.
Yeah.
Did you ever have any like officers come and talk to you about getting kidnapped?
No.
Like in John Mulaney's school?
No. I never had any.
I think that would have been good for you.
Why?
They've given you a lot of little tidbits.
I don't think I was ever worried about getting kidnapped as a child, though. I
feel like that's like the most likely scenario.
No, I was always worried about like car going off a bridge. I don't think I was ever going over a bridge anyway as a kid in a car. But I was always like, oh, if we go over a bridge and we're in the water, I know what to do. Oh, if I'm ever stuck out in the freaking desert, I know how to start a fire.
I can find a soda can and a chocolate bar.
Or, I was always, like, when I was a kid, I was always worried about our house burning down. Because I always had older people in my house. Like, my parents, my brother and sister are older than me. And so, like, when, like...
Yeah, most children do have older people in the house with them.
Okay, I was just saying, like, I was the youngest person. But I wasn't, like, my brother and sister are, like, 3 and 4 years older than me.
Yeah.
So they're, that's a good amount of years when you're, like, kids. Yeah. Because it'll be like, oh, they're 14, 13, I'm 10.
Yeah, like, I'm well aware of how that works.
I understand, but oh my God, I wasn't talking. I was more talking to the audience.
No, I'm saying I understand because my sisters are all 5 years apart. Mm-hmm. So when I was a kid... My sister, like when I was born, my sisters were 5, 10, and 15.
Yeah.
So like I get what you're talking about.
Yes, thank you for
It is quite a bit older.
Yes.
Okay.
And you'll relate to this. Like, you know, my parents would watch like Law and Order SVU or, you know, like crazy shows that like children should not watch.
Yeah, my parents were tired of cartoons by the time I was a child.
Yeah.
I watched a lot of what is it? NCIS.
Yes.
But Mark Harmon. Come on.
in
Matt Weatherford.
You're just gonna name actors.
Come on. All right, it's your turn.
In one of the episodes of like Law and Order or like one of those crime shows, whatever, someone's house burned down, and they were just like, "Oh yeah, it was an electrical short." Like it just
happened.
Happened, and I was like, oh, "Excuse me,
that can just happen."
I was like, "Your house can just like set on fire."
Yeah.
I'm like, "That's not okay." And I remember like I would like wake up in the middle of the night or it's like I couldn't sleep, and I'm like, "Did the house get set on fire?"
You internalized things a little too much, I think.
Oh really?
Yeah.
You think?
I think so. Like the whole Saw situation.
Oh, we're not bringing that up right now.
Okay, we're not bringing it up. Sorry, folks.
Yeah.
I watched like a lot of like I watched Law and Order SVU. Monk. Love Monk.
I never really watched Monk.
Oh, it was my favorite show when I was a kid. NCIS LA, obviously.
Oh.
Hawaii Five-0. I watched all those shows as a child, and I never thought that I was going to get abducted.
You never like put yourself in that situation, but oh no.
No.
Like this is going to happen to me.
No, I was just like, this is entertaining.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Just people dying and house burning down. And you're like, yep, this is
good for me.
That's why
the Gifted and Talented program thought that I shouldn't be admitted because they didn't think I had a sense of humor. Because that was the kind of content that I was consuming. Cool. Yeah.
I got kicked out of Gifted and Talented because they didn't have enough seats in the classroom.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure your sense of humor was also an issue.
My sense of humor? My sense of humor is amazing.
Of course it's sweet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I remember just like laying awake and I'm like, my house is going to burn down. And I'm like, and I just remember I'm like.
I feel so bad for you.
Yeah, right? Because I'm just like, I'm going to lose all my stuff. And like, I'm like, how do we get it back? I was like, and I remember driving past like a extended stay motel where like you go to when like you're trying to figure out things with insurance and whatnot.
Yeah.
And I just remember like driving by, like we were going to get like ice cream or some shit, like some normal childhood stuff.
And you're like, I was like,
I see like
the house burns.
Yeah, like I saw cars in the parking lot. I'm like, those people's houses burned down. I was like, it's happening out here, guys. I was like, why is no one worried? How do people sleep at night?
Have you gotten over that, or do you still worry about it?
Oh, I've gotten over it. That was, you know, I've had stuff like followed me into my adulthood from childhood. Like that was like just like a year or something. Just like one.
Do you not even think about it anymore?
I mean, I definitely do like worry about our house burning down, of course. I mean, I'll definitely I'll be driving home and I'll see like a fire truck or something headed in the direction of our house, and I'll go,
yep, the house is going to be gone.
Yeah.
Gotta get ready. Oh, that would suck.
Oh, it would suck if we lost all of our shit and our dogs died?
I'm saying the dogs. I don't care as much about our shit. We have insurance.
I'm not really too worried about it. One, electrical shorts.
I'm just more worried about the dogs in the kennel.
Don't think about it. Let's move on.
Baby boy, we can't have him in
here.
Let
me give you some things that soothe me. So back in the olden days, before electricity.
Olden days.
Yeah, before electricity, before like air conditioning and stuff.
I bet houses burned down a lot more.
Yes, but you would have like 10 to 15 minutes to escape your house.
Okay.
Before you were.
That was like a known.
Well, not then, but it is now.
Okay.
Nowadays, when your house gets set on fire, you have between 3 and 5 minutes to get out.
What?
Yeah, things are just like a lot more flammable, all the plastics and whatnot. But here's the thing: your house is a lot less likely to set on fire. All the things that burn really fast, they burn really fast if you can get them on fire.
Okay.
But like the plastics and stuff, they don't really burn. Like you really need high temperatures. You already need like a fire going like to start catching these things. Where if you're living in a cabin, whatever, it's made of wood, and eventually wood goes up, but it's a little slower. Mm-hmm. Does that soothe you?
No, not at all.
Oh.
3 to 5 minutes. What if I'm asleep? I'm going to die.
That's why we have fire alarms.
Oh, my God. I guess you're right. Yep, the light's on still. That means it's good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, this is a horrible podcast.
Yeah, well,
we didn't do a good job of the conversation direction today. I really apologize.
Well, let's change it up. Let's talk about personal things, as in what I've been dealing with, and you deal with from time to time. But I've been dealing with it for the last week, and since my childhood. But migraines. I get migraines. I get just normal migraines.
Yeah.
You get hemiplegic migraines.
I also get normal ones.
You also get normal, but do you want
a couple times a year I'll get hemiplegic migraines, which mimic the symptoms of a heart attack. So like the left side of your body will go numb, and your vision will go blurry, and it's horrible.
Yeah, I remember the first time you got one when I was at work,
mm-hmm.
and I was working. I worked at a mall, and you had came to the mall after work, and you were like doing mall stuff, and you came to see me, and you just walked up to the counter where I was, and you just looked at me dead in the face and went, "I can't feel the left half of my body," and I was like, "What?"
Yeah, I was like, "I need you to drive me home."
Yeah, so like my manager,
I don't know what's happening.
Let me leave. I drove you home,
mm-hmm.
gave you some Advil. I was like, take a nap, and then I went back to work.
Yeah, we had to go get my car later.
Yeah. But luckily,
usually they require like some kind of like intense stimulus or something like that to make them happen. I've gotten one at work before for no real reason, I think. Mm-hmm. But usually it's like a strong scent or...
Yeah.
That day, the day I had my first one, it was... The air conditioner had broke at the Starbucks I worked at.
Ooh.
And it was like 90 degrees in that freaking store. It was in the middle of summer in Texas. Yeah, and I worked like an 8-hour shift with no air conditioning. Mm-hmm. And... it was not fun, and so I think that's really what triggered it that day.
Yeah, the strong scents get me.
Yeah,
trigger my migraines, but also just like I just randomly get them. Like ever since I was a kid, for as long as I can remember, I used to get them a lot more frequently and a lot more intense when I was a kid. Mm-hmm. Like I would get them so intensely as a kid, like it would make me nauseous and I would vomit.
Yeah. Same.
Also mixed with my allergies. Like I was creating so much mucus that it was like draining down the back of my throat. Mm-hmm. It's like my stomach was just constantly filled with mucus, and I'm getting like headaches. I'm just like vomiting mucus. It was terrible.
This is another great direction that we've taken.
Yeah. No, but in like the last week, I've gotten 3 migraines.
Yeah. Have you thought about going to a doctor and using your health insurance?
I think about a lot of things, and usually I don't get that many. I would say I get like 5 a month.
I also feel like not all of your headaches are migraines. I feel like you get like 5 headaches a month.
I disagree. Why do you think that?
Some of them aren't like as intense, I think, as others.
Well, yeah, but not all migraines are as tense as... I mean, I've been doing this for,
Yeah, same. But like, I get headaches and migraines and hemiplegia. There's like a different severity.
Right.
So why do you think they're all migraines?
Because they all feel the same.
Oh, okay.
I mean, yeah, they have different levels of intensity, but also I'm pretty good, at catching them. As soon as if I have access to painkillers. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I don't, which sucks.
Yeah, that's the worst.
Yeah, but every so often, probably like once a month, mm-hmm. I'll get like the really bad one where it will actually
you just have to go to
put
bed.
me out of commission. Yeah, that's the best way I found to take care of migraines.
It's the only way. For me, nothing else works.
Yeah, for me, it's like taking some Excedrin, mm-hmm. Hot shower, and then going to sleep.
Yeah.
And then usually when I wake up, it'll be gone. That always sucks when you go to sleep with a headache and you wake up with a headache.
Still have it.
That's terrible. But yeah, I've been having headaches forever, migraines forever. And so like I've just I get them now, and I'm like, they suck. And I'm just like, well, this is just it.
Yeah,
and I've got it, and I still have like obligations. I'm still like at work. I still have all this stuff I have to do, and I'm just like, this sucks. I
stayed at work through one of the hemiplegic ones before. Yeah. That was fun.
Yeah,
mostly
like
because
you
I
could
was
drive.
concerned about driving home. But yeah, usually at work, like if I just get a normal migraine or a headache, I always have like some kind of painkiller, or my desk mate does. So I'll just take that, but and they'll be like, well, just go home. Like, I can't go home every time I get a headache. Like, get them way too often.
I'd never be here.
Right. I was like, I'll just be in pain. It's fine.
Yeah.
But when I get, like, the hemiplegic ones, I have, like, prescription migraine medication, and I don't bring that to work. I don't know why. I probably should.
You should always have some.
Yeah. But so when that happens, I just take, like, this, like, shitty over-the-counter painkillers that don't work. Just be like, okay.
Yeah, like the only over the counter thing
bit.
that
Fine.
they get really bad.
Yeah.
The only over counter medication that I've found that works is Excedrin. Not Advil, not ibuprofen, not whatever. I mean, Excedrin is aspirin, Tylenol, and
really
caffeine.
Good. Yeah, it's a little
Medley.
Yeah.
Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
But all I could think of was melody, and I was like, that's not the right word.
Yeah. No. Yeah, but Excedrin works pretty well.
It works so good.
I did a really long paper in
you did.
college about migraines.
Mm-hmm.
That was really cool.
Yeah, in your medicinal chemistry class.
Yes, medchem. That was really cool. I get to learn about all the different drugs that they use to treat migraines.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and basically it's like Excedrin or whatever over the counter or whatever prescription they give you, which is usually like a triptan.
Yeah.
Which is not a painkiller technically, but it helps with migraines. Oh, do you also want to hear about the paper I wrote freshman year?
I don't. I want to hear about this nightmare that you won't tell me about until we did the podcast.
Well, it's not like a nightmare. Recently it's gotten colder.
Justin has been like saving things to tell me like during the podcast.
That's not really true. It's just like I legitimately I was just thinking about like things that we should talk about.
Well, I asked you about it before the podcast, and you're like, wait and see.
You asked me about it like literally as I'm setting up the mics.
Because you were like, we can talk about my nightmare or whatever.
No, I didn't say we can talk about my nightmare. I just said nightmares in general.
Okay.
But anyway, it's been getting colder recently.
Okay.
And it's the only time I don't even know if to call them nightmares. But it's the only time I get these types of dreams. Is when it's cold? When it's cold. When I am cold while I'm sleeping. Like, because I'll be sleeping.
How are you not cold all the time while you're sleeping? It's so cold in our bedroom the last like few months.
Because I when I sleep, I am covered. Everything below my chin is covered by the comforter, the sheets, whatever, and then I'm cuddled up to Cass because Cass loves his daddy cuddles.
Yes, and then Cass pulls the covers off of me.
He also pulls them off of me. That's when I like when a part of my body gets exposed.
Yeah,
I get cold, and when I'm cold while I'm sleeping, that's the only time I'll have a nightmare.
Okay. So what was your nightmare about?
Well,
share.
It wasn't one. It was like
Well, share them.
Okay, hold on. I'm getting to the point, but then you keep like doing weird stuff over there. You're messing with your nails.
I just put on new nails. I like how they look. I think they're cool.
Okay, it doesn't mean you have to mess with them.
Yeah, it does. I haven't worn nails in so long.
I know. Okay, so I only get nightmares when I'm cold. And that's happened quite often recently, just because it's colder in our house, colder outside. I don't even, like I said before, I don't really even know if to call them nightmares, because objectively, like the dream is a nightmare, like a bad dream, like like a horror movie. Mm-hmm. The premise would be like, oh, that's a horror movie, even if you don't see like the reaction of like the characters.
Okay.
Because in every single one of these dreams, I'm not scared. Like when you have like a nightmare as a kid, you wake up and you're like, oh my God, like,
okay,
thank God that's not happening. You were like legitimately scared in your sleep, and then waking up, you're scared. But when I wake up, I'm just like, yeah, that's That was happening. Okay. And then I just go back to sleep.
Okay.
So, like, one of the dreams was, like, I was running this marathon, but then, like, a little bit into the marathon, we're running through, like, this abandoned warehouse district. And, like, have you seen the movie The Cabin in the Woods?
No.
Okay. Well, there's a bunch of different monsters in that movie. And that was, like, those types of monsters started, like, picking off runners, in this race.
Mm-hmm.
And we came to realize, like, oh, like, there's going to be one person standing. It's going to be, like, whoever finishes this race first or whoever's the last one alive is going to win.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, people started freaking out. And I just, keep running. And then I'm getting, like, chased by, I get, like, cornered in a warehouse, getting chased by this witch.
Mm-hmm. A witch?
A witch, yeah.
You said they were monsters.
And then I wake up and I was like, oh, okay. And I just go back to sleep. Just wanted to know if do you have nightmares?
I'm sure I do. I'm a very heavy sleeper, and I don't remember anything of when I'm asleep.
Mm. Yeah. When do you think the last nightmare you had?
Nightmare?
Yeah. Well, let me ask you something first. Do you think those dreams I have where, like, it's, like, objectively, like, a scary, terrifying thing happening?
Yeah, it's a nightmare.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, the last time that I remember, a lot of, like, the dreams I have are just, like, very strange. And I don't know if they would be called nightmares, but a lot of them are, like, something weird's happening. It's, like, very rarely, I guess, a positive thing, if I remember it. So here, like, the last thing that I remember from when I was sleeping was, like, months ago. I remember telling people at work about it. We had a baby in this house. Like, it was our baby. Like, it wasn't, like, the process of having the baby, but it was our baby, and it was around. Okay.
Who's we?
Us.
Oh, you and me. Okay.
Who else would I be talking about?
I don't know.
Okay.
I wasn't kind of paying attention, and you said you were saying you had this a while ago, and I couldn't remember. Whatever. Continue.
It was a few months ago.
Okay.
Were we not together a few months ago?
We were. No, that's not.
I'm so confused.
Just continue.
So, anyways, Justin and I, our baby was in the house, and it's like little,
oh yeah, you told me.
Like,
okay.
crib thing. I don't know. It wasn't like a crib. It was like, I forget what they're called, but it's like a little,
it's bed.
Yeah, it's like a little thing for them to sleep on when you're like in the living room or something. I forget what it's called. Anyways, so it was asleep in that, and then I don't know. I really don't remember the details anymore. But like, I turned, and I was looking at the baby, and then the baby started getting like blue, and I was like, it's dead. Oh my god! Like, the baby's dead. It's so cold. Whatever. I was freaking out. And then Justin came, and like touched, like he like picked up the baby, and then it started like not being blue anymore. And then I woke up. So I thought the message there was that I was not ready to have a kid. Yeah. And then that was it. And that was the last dream of any sort that I had.
Okay.
Do you think that's a nightmare?
Yeah, I think a child dying in your dream would constitute a nightmare.
But it ended positively.
So you think?
Because you touched it and then it wasn't dead.
I still think that's a nightmare.
See, it was just weird. One of the dreams that like has stayed with me from my childhood, my dad and I were in a mall and we were on an escalator. We were just like going up the escalator. I think it was like at the Galleria or something. It was very realistic. So we're going up the escalator, and then at the top of the escalator, there was no floor. And then we fell off onto a trampoline, and then that was the end of it.
I'm glad the trampoline was there. I wasn't expecting that.
So those are the kinds of dreams that I have.
Did you ever have like reoccurring dreams?
No.
Really? There was this one dream that I had. I haven't had it in a long time, but I think the last time I had it was in our first apartment.
Mm-hmm. I remember you telling me about it.
But I remember having it. I was like, wow, I haven't had that dream in like years.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not, I wouldn't call it a nightmare. It's probably a nightmare.
Mm-hmm. I just feel like also we probably have a lot more dreams, but like,
Can't remember them.
Yeah, like you don't remember most of the dreams you have.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
like how many on average? Like you dream every night, you just don't remember it.
Yeah.
Or you're in a deep enough sleep to like not realize. Or
I would say like 4 times a week, I'll have dreams where I wake up and I'm like, oh, I was dreaming. I might, like 5 minutes after waking up, I'm like, I can't even remember what it was about.
Mm-hmm.
But like I'll be like, yeah, I was definitely like dreaming.
Okay. Yeah, I never dream.
Yeah, I dream quite often.
So okay, what about this one?
Oh, this reoccurring dream. So it's like I got accepted to this like university that was underwater. It was like a huge glass dome.
Okay.
And it was kind of like set up like you would think a mall is.
Mm-hmm.
Like all like the classrooms or whatever were like facing. And basically it's this dome and there are these two spiral they're ramps that go all the way up.
Okay.
Like because it's multiple floors.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of like a double helix, like DNA.
Yeah. Very cool.
It's kind of like that. It's got two of them, and but then at one point the dome breaks, so water just starts flooding in.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever. Obviously, like I'm freaking out because like I'm gonna drown. Whatever.
Yeah.
And then the next
then you remembered all of your stuff about the car.
Breaking glass is what got me into this situation. It's not gonna help.
Okay, continue.
But then it's really like a jump cut. Like it the next thing I remember, I'm in the parking lot of this school, which is also underwater. It is currently underwater, and I'm breathing water. But there's this guy.
Oh, you can breathe water. That's dope. Didn't know about that.
There's this guy standing next to his truck, arguing with another guy.
Yeah.
And he pulls out a gun and shoots him.
Oh, okay.
And then I wake up.
Wow.
And that's the dream. And I had that dream so many times.
Did you ever talk to your therapist about that?
No. Why would I?
Just see what they think it means. What do you think it means?
I don't think it means anything. It's a dream.
Dreams can mean things. It's your brain doing shit. What do you think it means?
I don't think it means anything.
Okay, so you're at a school underwater.
Mm-hmm. I'm at a prestigious university. Oh, I value education.
Okay, now
I start drowning. My fear of death. I'm drowning in stress. I don't know.
And then you wake up and you're still underwater.
What?
So
No.
it jump cuts.
Yeah.
And you're still underwater, but it's okay.
Yeah, I can breathe.
And then 2 random people are in a fight, and one
Yeah.
of them gets shot.
Yeah.
Wow, that's heavy.
It's heavy.
If
Really?
anyone can unpack this for us,
Oh my
please
God.
comment below.
I don't think it's anything. I did.
But it's a recurring dream. I feel like
I haven't
there's
had it
probably something about it.
in years though.
But you had it for a long time.
I did, and I guess it was a long time, and then I had it randomly one night.
Yeah.
What
was
are the
going
odds
on
that
that
I
night?
have? I don't know. It's just I don't know. I don't
Was
remember.
it a stressful week?
I have no idea. It was like 4 years ago.
Wow.
But I bet I have it tonight since I'm talking about it so much. Another dream that I had that was kind of reoccurring that was definitely a nightmare, which I did not like. Ooh, after that I'll talk about something else. But on the, I was saying earlier how like I get cold, I get nightmares.
Mm-hmm.
It happened when I was a kid. Just often I would somehow get out of the covers,
Yeah.
and, like the fans on, and I would get to the point of like I'm shivering while I'm
Okay.
sleeping, like I'm cold. But the reoccurring nightmare I had when I was cold was I was on my elementary school playground, like on the play set,
Mm-hmm.
and there was a guy standing off of the play set, like 50 feet away, just staring at me with a knife, and it was
Oh
it
God.
was my.
Okay. You really just
I said it
peppered
was
in the.
I said it was a knife. I said it was a nightmare.
You're just like
but-
a creepy guy just staring at me with a knife.
It's a creepy guy on a child's playground. Like he's not there for any good reason.
Okay. Continue.
But I mean, like, he never said anything, or he just stood there the entire time. But it was my understanding that he's there to kill me, and like if I get off of the play set, if I touch the ground, I'm dead.
Oh,
And
so a classic take on the children's game, Gravel.
yes,
Okay.
I played Gravel a lot when I was a kid on
Yeah.
this exact play thing.
Okay.
But I was in my dream, I was freezing. What I was debating in my head was like, I'm freezing. I need to get off this or I'm going to freeze to death. But if I get off this, he's going to kill me. And the only thing that could have warmth was there was this random light bulb that was not part of this playset. It was just like there. And it was like one of those flat heat bulbs.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the only thing that was like giving off any warmth. So I'm like under that, like shivering, like trying to stay warm. So like I don't have to get off of this and get murdered by this dude.
Okay.
That's the whole
And
dream.
that's it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just me like I'm gonna die. I'm like struggling. Like
I think that tells me that you were really scared of that game. That it had an effect on you.
I don't think I was scared of that game. I love that game.
The game had an effect on you, honey.
I never played it at school. I only played it with like my brother and sister and whatever.
Oh, really?
When we would go to play at the school, like after school
story.
weekends.
I think you know about this. Fun story. I actually got my nose broken for the first time playing Gravel in 3rd grade.
Oh, I didn't know it was during Gravel.
Yeah, it was during Gravel. Yeah, we had like a
did
rule.
you run into something?
No, we had a rule. When we played Gravel, there was one swing that was pretty much just like a metal bar to do gymnastics things. Yeah, we also had like those rings.
Oh, that sounds really dangerous.
Yeah, one kid broke both of his elbows on those gymnastics rings. It was crazy. We also had that metal bar there, and we had a rule that like you couldn't go on either of those things during Gravel because it's like solid iron. Like it's dangerous. Dangerous. Yeah, it's like
if you don't know about Gravel.
Oh yeah.
Are your eyes closed? Yeah.
The person that's your eyes are
closed,
and everybody else has to stay on, like the play sets.
They can't touch the ground.
They can't touch the ground. But if the person that's it says Gravel, when they're on the ground, then they're it.
Yeah.
The only other way for the person that's it to stop being it is to tag somebody.
Yeah, but your eyes are closed.
So, pretty much we had these 2 pieces in the playground that were just solid metal, and so we had a rule you couldn't be on those because they swing and they could hit somebody.
Yeah.
This one girl was sitting on like the metal swing, and I knew she was there because she always did that shit. And so I went over to like tag her, and she like jumped off, and like it swung back really far and hit me in the face.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I broke my nose for the first time.
And you never had nightmares about that game?
No.
Interesting. Nothing like that ever happened to me when I played that game. Next thing, because it was another dream that I had. Have you ever, you know how it's like when you die in a dream, you like wake up? Like it's like, or like right before?
Okay.
Have you ever died in a dream?
No.
Really?
I don't dream that much.
You've had 23 years to have all these dreams, and you're like, I've never had a dream before in my life.
I have like 4 that I've told you all about.
Well, I've died in one of my dreams.
Okay. And then did you just stay there?
Huh?
Then did you just stay there? Did you experience the afterlife? Do you have the answers?
No.
No? Okay.
But you know how it's like right before you die, you wake up.
Okay.
It's not like, if you're getting chased by someone with a knife, it's not like as you're getting stabbed or whatever. It's like right before they stab you.
Okay.
Anyway, so I'm running down my street where my childhood home was, and I'm running from something. I have no idea what it was. This is exactly how long the dream is. Like it starts, and I'm just running for my life. Yeah. And I'm like looking behind me, like panting. I'm like sprinting, and in my head, I come to the realization like I can't get away from whatever's chasing me. It's gonna kill me. It's not gonna be a fast death. It's gonna be slow and painful. Pull out a gun, shoot myself in the head.
Oh my god!
Yeah, and I in the dream.
What on earth?
In the dream, it's first person. Like I guess all dreams are.
How old were you?
I was a kid. I don't know.
And you had the concept of like taking a handgun and shooting.
Don't unpack this more than it needs to be, because I'm just telling you like, I've died in it. You know how most people don't die in dreams? I've died in a dream, but I
because you killed yourself in a dream. It's very different.
I commit this act, and I like fall on the ground, and like my head's against the pavement,
And that's when it ended?
And it slowly fades out.
So, like, you, like, legitimately, like, died.
I legitimately, like, died. And it, like, but it was one of those dreams, like, have you ever, like, been asleep and you wake up, but you don't open your eyes yet? Like, you wake up and you're like, that's only happened to me a couple times, but that was one of the times it did happen, where it was like, I'm on the pavement, it fades out, and it was
then
just
you fade in?
Well, no, it was just black. And I didn't realize, like, oh, I'm actually awake now, because my eyes were closed. And I was like, whoa. So that was wild. But yeah,
it's almost like you were like in an alternate universe or something. Like you faded out there and then you faded in.
I was born here
in this universe.
I was like 12 years old and I was like, I'm born.
No, you weren't being born. I'm saying like you witnessed.
Oh, I got a glimpse of
dying.
Me. That's wild.
Yeah.
I don't think that's true.
It's crazy.
It's ugh.
But now you know how it feels to die.
Also, another thing is, this is just my brain trying to make sense of it. Shooting yourself in the head, even though it's like an instantaneous death or whatever, painful as shit.
Well, that's what your brain thinks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I remember like it being painful, and I was like, "Wow, that's crazy."
Like, I didn't think it would be like that. So you had thought about it before.
No, I didn't. Those are your words. No, yeah, but it's always been weird, like how you can like hear sounds or like feel things when you're like sleeping, and it happens in your dream.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's always crazy.
So maybe it was like your brother this whole time.
Yeah, I'm sure. Like I got hit in the head. Like my brother was sleeping next to me and accidentally hit me, because that's happened before.
Yeah.
I think at one point, like he was having a dream and he like legitimately threw a punch and hit me. You have any wild dreams?
No, but you know what? I did used to sleepwalk a lot.
Oh my God. You sleepwalking.
I still do it sometimes, but it's like nowhere near the amount I did it as a child. But like I never had dreams, but I would sleepwalk a ton.
I sleptwalk is not as much as you probably did. I just remember this one time I woke up and I'm standing in front of the sink, which I didn't like sleepwalking because when I was a kid, I was terrified of the dark. So I would just wake up in my dark kitchen and I'd be so scared.
Yeah.
But I
do it a lot. Well, I don't do it like as much as I used to, but I'll do it every once in a while if I was just like really exhausted. And another thing is like I'll sleep talk a lot.
Yeah.
Like if I am sleepwalking, like I'll have full conversations with Justin or something while I'm asleep. And then he'll try to ask me about them. And I'm like,
I have this. I haven't updated it since December of 2018. But I have.
But that's of when I'm like actually sleeping.
Yeah, this is like I have a list on my phone.
I'll be like, you think I'm awake, and you'll like talk to me.
Oh, like we'll have like an actual conversation, and you just won't remember it or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like,
and I'll like wake up and I'll like walk somewhere else in the house and like fall asleep somewhere else, and Justin be like, "Why'd you go out there?" And it's like,
yeah, like I'll like wake up in the middle of the night, and I'm like, or I'll wake up in the morning, I'll get up, and you're like asleep on the couch, and I was like, well, what happened? And you're like, I have no idea. I don't know why I'm here.
One time recently, I think like a month ago.
There's like a week, like a month ago, like for a week span, you sleptwalked like 3 times.
Yeah, but there was one where I like woke up kind of, because we have like gates around the house to like keep the dogs out of certain areas, and I like slipped out, like I kind of woke up and then I slipped back into sleep, I guess, like while I was walking, because I knocked over one of the gates and it was super loud.
Oh yeah, it's super loud.
And so I like woke up for like half a second and saw the gate fall, and then I fell back asleep.
Yeah, and
that was so weird.
I sat up in bed and I was like yelling for you, and you finally answered. I was like, "What are you doing?" And you're like, "I don't know." It's like, come back to bed. Yeah, there was one time you like fell asleep on the couch. One time you ended up all the way in here. You ended up across the house in the studio. Like crazy. But I have a list on my phone that I was keeping up for a while.
Why did you stop?
Because we just started going to sleep at like the same time. It used to be like we were like opposite, and so like you'd be
You'd get
sleeping,
home
and I'd be
at-
up for like another couple hours. So I have a list on my phone that says weird things that Keely says while she's asleep.
So cute.
I'm just gonna. I mean, there's like a lot of them are.
Some of them are funny.
Yeah, it's not that many. I'm just gonna read them off, and like
Okay.
some of them are just like a fragment of a sentence, but some of them are stupid. They came in a special pack. Don't know. We didn't have them. I don't know. I feel like all these are like you working at Starbucks related. Isn't that what you wanted?
That's definitely Starbucks.
Oh, this one's really good. It takes a little perfect drive, and Biscuit is there.
What?
Biscuit is my parents' dog.
Yeah, but I don't understand. It takes a little perfect drive.
Yeah, I don't I mean, you're not supposed to understand it. Can you get the bagel down for me?
I feel like that's Starbucks.
That's Starbucks. Another one was just right. That one was scary because like it wasn't like because like a lot of times when you like sleep and you're talking in your sleep, it's like mumbling. It's like a little perfect drive. But like that one was like you were like turn your head. You went right, and I was like, oh. There was this one time you weren't
in the car.
Yeah, you weren't asleep.
I was like kind of asleep.
It's that Billie Eilish song.
Yeah.
Where like, dang it, what does it say? But what's the word you said? Oh God. Here, you find it, and I'll keep reading some stuff.
Oh wait, no, my phone's dead.
No, your phone's dead. Whatever.
Can I see your phone? Let's do jump cut.
All right, hold on. Let me keep reading these.
Okay.
Maybe we shouldn't be in the ballpark anymore.
Maybe not.
You're having a baseball-related nightmare. Do you understand?
Did you?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I packed it all up and put it in the bag. Robbing a bank.
I feel like that was me talking to that guy at Starbucks that would come in every Saturday and get like 8 reduced fat turkey bacons for his family.
Oh, geez, gross. We'll see what that design says. You doing some CAD in your sleep?
I guess.
I needed a receipt. I'm so cold. Look at that. Bring it a full circle. That's it.
Scream.
Oh.
So just like it's like the instrumental part of the song, and she goes, "Scream."
Yeah, so it's like 3 a.m,
and I was like half asleep.
We're leaving your sister's place, driving home. It's like an hour drive. I'm driving.
We were like almost home.
No, we weren't.
Well,
we're like halfway there.
Yeah.
But I was driving. You were like asleep next to me in the passenger seat. I'm playing music, just like stay awake and whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
and I was
singing along,
in and out of being awake.
And so like it gets to the instrumental part where it's like instrumental, and then she goes scream, and
He freaked out.
You were in the passenger seat, and the only words you said the entire time were you're like half asleep, and you go scream. I'm like, oh my God, like that was so creepy. I did not enjoy that.
It was great.
It scared me. I could have jerked the wheel.
Really freaked out. I was worried you were gonna crash.
Well, yeah, scream is like one of the creepiest things, especially in a weird voice. It's one of the creepiest things you could say while you're sleeping, while I'm driving. But that is going to be it for this podcast.
Thank you for
full of frights.
Sticking around.
Yeah, I'm pretty entertaining.
Yeah.
I feel like you don't dream enough.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't dream enough to be entertaining.
Yeah.
That's my bad.
Yeah.
I'll work on that.
Yeah, dream some more.
Hallucinogenics or something.
Yeah.
JK. I don't know if I need to say that, but that's a joke.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was also joking when I said you need to dream more. I don't really care.
Okay.
Okay. Glad we cleared that up. But thanks you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you in another one. Love you.
Bye.
Bye.
Scream.